Hey team, so right now I'm going to teach you guys how to replicate some stories that I created, which are these here. And it's pretty simple. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it from scratch. I did replicate this from a triple diamond leader. Her name is Shandy. And I did this from the very beginning, no templates used. And I basically went to Google and searched for this image. I basically put in on the search bar cute palm trees wallpaper. And then I'm going to make sure it's to the size of Instagram stories. Now, when you click on this image, you're going to click edit, and then you're going to have some settings here when you start swiping. So I'm going to go towards the blur setting. So I'm going to click blur, and I'm going to adjust how blurry I want the image. I don't want it too clear, and I don't want it too blurry. I want it right in between. And I'm going to click the check mark. And then the stories that I'm going to help you guys replicate are these. It's two, three, four, five, six. Six stories in total. This one is just an extra slide. But these are the slides that you guys are going to try to replicate in your own version, okay? You don't have to do this exactly how I did it. So it's basically the introduction. You guys are going to have to take notes on what each slide needs. If you're very visual, you could screenshot these images and you could just, keep going back and forth to see how you could replicate it as well. So in the very beginning, it's just basically an introduction. So you're gonna go to your albums and you're gonna click on your Lightroom pictures. Lightroom pictures is basically like a preset already onto your images. And what I love about this is because my pictures, I want them to look bright and to be looking, attractive to make the picture stand out. So that's a picture of me. Now, the shapes that I use here is because I have the Over Pro version. So yes, that means I did pay the $99 to have all the graphics, all features, all the fonts that I could use on this app. So I'm gonna click not graphics, I'm gonna click shape. If you guys don't have the Pro version, you're gonna have to do this another creative way, but this is just easier. So I picked this rectangular one. I clicked on the corners. And then what I like is I like to make my shape see-through. So I'm going to slide to opacity and I'm going to go down to see how see-through I want it. So I'll put 70. And then yeah, if this is not the shape that you want, you could also customize the shapes. So I'm going to click shape and then I can make it bigger or shorter, longer, etc. There you go. And then I'm going to put in a shadow behind this shape. That way it just stands out and it doesn't blend with the background. And the opacity is for the shadow behind the shape or whatever image you're going to put it. You can put the shadow dark or as light. I just want it very neutral. Now I'm going to adjust a little bit my image and then I am going to put Jesus. Now these fonts, some of them are free. I have the Pro, so I put as many cute fonts that I can. So these are all the fonts available. And then these fonts are the ones that I have directly on the over slides, like the options that I could automatically see through my text editing. Library, you could just simply look for any font that you want. If I want this mirrors, I think that's how you pronounce it, it'll pop up here. You see? This is going to be the first one. Put Jesus, and then you could change the color, or you could also add it into a shadow behind the text, and you could move the shadow and create a blur. So that's pretty easy, right? And then if I want it white, it could pop out white. Or if I want a color that I'm using on my image or on my background, I could use a customized color on any of the images that I have here. It's pretty cool. This is why I love the Over app so much because it's really customizable and you could do whatever you want with your graphics and the editing on your slides. So yeah, then I am going to put I'm a mom and wife of two. I'm a wife, sorry. I'm a wife and a mama of two, and this is my story. So you see, and then you're just gonna go straight to the point, okay? Don't be adding too many sentences. Don't make a paragraph on this. It's just something for people could get to know you and see why you're doing this business. So it's very simple, okay? Don't make it too complicated. Just look for that font that you are going for. Don't overthink it and just do it. There you go. So now to add a slide, so you won't have to open another project and add the background again, you are going to click on the top center where it has a rectangular and the one there. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to click on the two squares in the bottom right. So you're going to click on the squares, and it basically duplicates the slide. If you just want a blank slide, you click on the plus sign. If you want to delete your slide, you're going to click on a trash can icon. So why I like duplicating is because I don't have to readjust and put on the blur again on the palm trees background. I could easily tap on my image, either replace it for it to stay in the exact same place, or I could delete it. That way I could just, put the image however I want. So I just like doing replacing. It's a lot faster for me. So for example, I'm just going to add my cat here. If you want it to be as a circle crop, I'm going to go to crop, and then this is also on your free version. So you could customize a crop. You could use a square or you could use circle. When it's circle, you could zoom into your image and then center the person or the item, and then it comes out like this. Now, you could also add shadow to this. I'm going to go to shadow, angle it, fix the shadow, and add the blur. It's pretty easy. Now, to add the stars, like it had any other slides, you're going to go to graphics. Now, I have the Pro, so I already have the Pro graphics here. So I am going to just put free stars if you're using the free version. And you're going to look for a star that is given to you for free. Okay, so I'm going to click on this yellow one. Now, for example, this yellow color, I don't want it. I want it white. So once you're adding that sticker, you're gonna go to color, and it gives you automatically gives you the option for white or black, or you could click the rainbow ball and you could change your colors. You could do it as light, as dark, and as transparent. Okay, but I'm just gonna stick with white, and I'm gonna go to this opacity setting again, and I'm gonna make it see-through. If you wanted to make it popping out, add the shadow, and again repeat the same steps. And you're gonna go ahead and put wherever you want the star. Now, if you want the same star and you don't want to repeat the exact same steps that I just showed you, you're gonna click on a star again. You're gonna click duplicate, and then you just change the angle, and there you go. So this is how you view your image. If you want the star to be behind your picture, all you simply do is go to the top left, right, sorry, the right where you see the squares layered on top of each other, and then click that. Now, if you want your picture to be above all of the stars, you're going to click on these three little slides that I'm moving here. I'm going to put it all the way on top of the stars. That way the stars go behind it. If you want to lock an image, so I'm going to put it back under so the stars could be above the image, I believe you just basically click on the center and you click lock. So when you go back here, I can't move the cat picture. I could only move the stars, but I can't move my cat picture. That way it stays settled there. And that's basically what you do. To add the little dots that I have here on this slide, I did add some slides here. I did add the dots. So the dots are very simple. And then you are going to just add a text, and you're going to put literally just dots. It's not a graphic, just add the dots, and they're going to come out like this. If you change fonts, they're going to come out differently. So make sure if you want them like this, you could use this font, or if you want it to be looking like little stars, you could add this. If they're too close to each other, you go to the text setting here, and then you could do it through the space. And in the space, you could expand them as much as you want. Now, you see how these got separated? You're going to just either make the fonts even smaller, like you're going to adjust it smaller, big, or another thing you could do is just make this longer. There you go. So you could do it, however you want. This is how you want it, your pictures. And I'm going to change the color to white, and then I'm going to add a little shadow behind it. Adjust the shadow and give it a blur. There you go. Oops. And there you go. Now, another tip that I'm going to give you guys is I'm going to use my cat picture, unlock the image for I could edit. So if you want to cut out, let's say, the blankets and the wall background, and you just want the cat alone, or in this case, the picture of you and your kids, you're going to go to the settings all the way to the end where it says mask. Now, these masks, you have 4 dot settings that you could customize your picture. So this one, it, it deletes parts of your images clearly. And then you click the undo button on the top. And then if you go to the mist kind, it kind of takes off the picture misty. So this is mostly the setting that I use. And then you're just going to keep going. And then you could even zoom into your image and just erase all of that part. And then you keep going, you get even closer in there. And then it's just very helpful when it comes to a clean look. You could adjust it here. You zoom out, it's going to take care of it easily. Now, let's say I made a mistake. I zoom in too much and I made this mistake. You could either click the undo arrow on the top, simple like this, or if you want to fix certain parts of this but don't want to undo the entire mistake, you basically just do this. Now, you will have to experiment a little bit with the settings, but trust me, it's worth it. And the same thing over here. The last circle is going to just recover everything clearly. So I hope that makes sense. And then this is really awesome to make your image look, more attractive. And then that's what I do. So yes, if I want to do if I want to undo the image or the editing, you just click the arrow, or you just basically recover it again with the settings that I just showed you. And that's basically all I did. Those are the basic features that I used. Oh, with this rectangle, I completely forgot to mention. You know how I have the round corners? You can't do this on the free version. What you can do, either you could Google a white rectangle, or here's a tip that I've learned. I'm going to click on an image, and I'm going to pick literally a random image that has white on it. So I'm going to click this picture. It's a screenshot I took, but I'm going to go to crop, and I'm going to customize it. And I'm going to put it whatever size I want, and I'm going to zoom into the white. When everything is white, I'm going to click the check mark. Now the check mark is going to give me this clear crop. Now I'm going to edit it again, and I'm going to change the opacity to be transparent. That way, I easily have this rectangle without the curves. Either way, it's fine. The curves doesn't matter. As long as you have this is an easier and it's more of a time saver, just do it. The little details doesn't matter. Just, again, don't overthink it. And then you could replace um, the rectangle. So I'm gonna move my font, delete it, bring this one lower, and then put my hey image. Oops. Okay, you see this? The square, this rectangle here, sorry, is above all the text. So that's why my text looked like that. So I'm going to go back to the squares that are stacked on the top, and I'm going to bring this shape down underneath my fonts. That way my fonts are on top of the shape that I added, and then I could just adjust everything to the center of the shapes and the image. That way it looks attractive. So there you go. Now, that's basically what I did. And then these images here is what I did. I started duplicating every image, and I started adding the stars. I started changing the text. And then this iPhone PNG, you basically just Google it. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to click iPhone PNG. And then here you go. This is the exact same one. So you're going to click on this image, add it to photos. So when you come back here, you're going to add the image here. And then here's your iPhone. Now, my Instagram picture, I just took a basic screenshot of my Instagram and I just put it underneath my picture. So there you go. And then you just keep repeating everything. And that's how easy. Now with this link in bio, when you curve it, you're gonna add a text. So you put something random. And then to make it curve, you go to text and then you swipe to curve. So you can make it as round or going round upwards. So in this case, you're gonna go just a little bit to the bottom to curve with the image. And there, there you go. So that's how I did that. And yes, that's basically the basics of what I did. I just kept duplicating the slides, changing the images, deleting slides if I made a mistake or I duplicated too many. But yes, that's how I did it. These images are going to be in the comments of the Guerreras Imparables, and in the tutorial it's going to be posted also in the team page or in the YouTube channel.